They imply much more than what you would possibly think. I think of a scene between two wives having a conversation where I'm like, this is kind of strange. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Whole Views, and today we're going to be talking about the movie No Sudden Moves. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't so far. Help me to keep growing things. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. If you've seen this movie, let us know at what point did you become fully invested, because for me it took about an hour. And about the movie, I would say that's the most important part. My problem with the film coming in is that I didn't know exactly what I was getting. You know, all trailers do such a great job on selling us the action or the things that are going to take place in the movie. So as I watched the trailer, and I'll link the reaction, there was a whole bunch of things that happened, and seeing the cast get revealed really made me excited. I did make a few calls correctly in that trailer review, but there are also some surprise characters that weren't revealed in the trailer that, like, when they showed up, the movie kind of elevated a little bit. I definitely must say that the second half of this film was much better than the first. There's a whole lot of setup in the first half, and my problem with the setup is that there's so many names being thrown around and so much going on, so many moving pieces, that it isn't until the last hour where things start to solidify and you learn the key people involved and why they're involved. The consequences of everyone involved are very muddled, and also it's the 1950s where this movie is taking place, so the subtlety in which people speak about things can be lost on people today. For instance, there was a scene between Don Cheadle and Benicio del Toro where Don Cheadle tells Benicio, like, I can tell that you know his wife. And in just watching, I didn't really think anything of that. And then when I saw Benicio and the wife in question on screen together, I was like, oh, that's what you're talking about. No, like in the biblical sense. Like, okay. Didn't catch that when you say it in passing, but there's a lot of nuance like that in the movie. A lot of subtlety. Subtlety is the word. A lot of subtlety in the delivery of lines that you might think are very innocent, but when you actually think about the time period in which people are speaking, like, oh, they're implying much more than what you would possibly think. I think of a scene between two wives having a conversation where I'm like, this is kind of strange. There's a scene with a character that I didn't see featured in the trailer that he gives a monologue. Great monologue, and as he was giving it, he was actually, without me knowing, laying out the end for pretty much every character involved. Everybody did great in this. There were no bad performances. Brendan Fraser kind of stood out because he did some flip-floppy stuff in there. Jon Hamm stood out because he portrayed himself to be one way and then turns out slightly different in the end. And Bill Duke showed up, and it was great to see him do his thing. Now he can do that in any movie with mob people involved because he played a great mobster. So while it may not feel like I was very, very high on the movie, I actually did enjoy the ride, especially the end of the ride. The first part set up a lot of intrigue, whole lot of names, whole lot going on. The back half delivered a lot of consequences for a lot of people, and then ultimately for the major players involved in this very twisty turny story, not much consequence at all. But that's very common in American history, because these are, I guess these are based on true events. I didn't know that going in, but this story is based on true events. I'm sure the low level stuff that's really entertaining, not real, but the high level, like the big boss players in this movie, I think this stuff, you know, some of these things could have been true with the collusion and the plans and things like that. I know I'm kind of sounding real vague, but I don't want to give anything away. If you watch to completion, you'll start putting puzzles together and you'll probably be satisfied. I was satisfied with it. I would probably give this like a 7. But again, scales and like rubrics. So I would say as a movie, there were some beautiful shots, like weird angles taken with the camera. Really, really good stuff. Artistic stuff. Real good dramatic acting. But the entertainment value of it is not high. can't recommend it to, you know, people who just watch movies for fun. Like, if you really want to see some good acting in cinema and some real good dialogue and some real good delivery, this would be one for you. But if you just want to see something that's fun, well, then maybe you might want to pass on this one, because you won't really have a lot of entertainment value with this one until close to the end, to me. So those are my thoughts. Again, for the moviegoer, the movie lover, you love all movies, not just certain genres, not just some things, this one will be good. But for someone who's like, I just want to be entertained, you won't find this one entertaining for a while. So again, those are my thoughts. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, come back and check out more videos.